Welcome back to the YouthRise Podcast, a platform dedicated to empowering youth voices through diverse topics of passion. I'm your host, Queenie Gong, and I'm excited to welcome Hasini Mandava, a rising junior at Leander High School in Austin, Texas, to today's episode. We'll dive into the topic of women in the business world, exploring the challenges and stigmas they face. Hasini will share some impactful projects she's involved in, and together we'll offer tips for young listeners eager to make their mark in this field. We hope our conversation inspires you to pursue your passions confidently, just as Hasini is doing right now. I'm super excited to have Hasini here with me today, and we will talk about the topic of women empowerment in business. But first off, Hasini, can you give a little introduction to all the listeners at home, share some of your hobbies or fun facts about yourself?
Hi, I'm Hasini. I'm a junior that lives in Austin, and for me, I am super passionate about business. I love anything related to business, marketing, events, all of that. Um, Personally, my interests resonate with like nature. I love going hiking. I love mountains. And also I love cars. I'm a huge car person too. So
That's super cool. I have a lot of friends who are also interested in cars, but like when they say the names of cars, it usually is like nothing in my mind because I'm not that interested, but that's cool.
I feel like they're like a form of art.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
kind of a form of art to me. So.
Yeah. So going back to what we talked about in the beginning about empowering women in business, like just to get us started, how about you first share what inspired you to become involved in empowering women in business?
So I've had many experiences where I'd be the only girl in the room. For example, this summer I was actually a part of a startup team where we had to create a pitch within 4 weeks, and during that time I was the only girl in a group of six. There were 4 to 5 other guys, and I feel like I was kind of like my voice was not as heard as it should have been while I was in that group. And I just feel like they kind of looked down on me just because I was a woman, and they just didn't think my ideas or my talent was as good as theirs. And due to that, I just wanted to like really empower girls who want to go into these fields, not just business, but also women in STEM. There's barely any girls going into these fields because they feel belittled by these guys. And that's why I personally want to work towards empowering girls and letting them get to their full potential when they're going into these fields.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said there. And although there is like a better understanding of like women in these areas right now, still I feel like there's that stigma against us really. And for me as well, like I participated in a summer program, and when we were in small groups, like there was a problem where a lot of the guys would like talk really badly about how the women were like thinking or like how they were sharing their ideas when it should really just be like an inclusive environment and everyone should be able to like share what they want to share. So yeah.
Yes.
And so you talk about like your challenges and like I guess this is kind of like a specific moment or experience that kind of sparked your understanding that this was really a problem still today. So how have you been able to overcome any gender related obstacles in your projects?
Um, Mainly I've been focusing more on like actually putting out there and not letting them get to my mind. I feel like when you're going into business, mentality is like such a big concept. And if you let it get to your mind thinking that you're just little compared to other like men in the group, it's gonna get to you and it's gonna show how insecure you're about it. And so with me, I've been trying to focus on building my mentality, going in strong and going in passionate, because those things do really show when you're working on a project. Whether it's whatever it is, you have to go in with it with passion.
Yeah.
And that's just like how I go about it. And also, I try to keep an open mind. Like, I'm not gonna like completely be like, oh, disregard someone else's opinion, but also if my opinion could make something work out when it didn't before, then that shouldn't be thrown out just because I'm a girl, right? So
Yeah, for sure. I think also like after you participated in like many more projects and experiences, like your confidence will definitely grow and you'll learn from like your past mistakes and you'll know that like what you're doing is correct and you'll fight for what you think is the right thing for the project. So yeah.
Yes. And being consistent with it, like making sure you keep fighting and like showing how your idea has potential and stuff like that. And it's not just like, oh yeah, you're a girl. Like there's more to it, right?
Yeah, for sure. And are there any like specific people in like the business world who are women that you look up to?
I really look up to Kendra Scott. Um, I was listening to, I mean, I guess it came on my TikTok, but it was this interview with her, and she was really talking about um, her journey and how she had to push through when she was in a board full of men who didn't think her idea was good. But she ended up making like this multi-billion-dollar like jewelry business, and she was successful because she was confident in any room that she went into. And I think that's so important and that's so empowering because it's like if you just go into it confident, you can do anything and you can accomplish anything. Um, and
Yeah.
I really thought her story was super nice. She also has like that little subsector at UT Austin called the KSI Welly program, which is like part of the, I'm pretty sure it's part of Macombs that helps empower women entrepreneurs specifically. And that's like a whole program in itself. And I think all of that, whatever she funded with that, is awesome. Like that is the goal.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of these like women who are already like very apparent in the business world, they have like a strong personality, like they know what they want and they like really strive for that. So that's something like for young people, like youth, as both of us want to be in the future, we should probably look into. And it's great
Yeah.
that we have like these role models as well. So, any mentors in your personal life, maybe someone close to you that has really guided you on your journey and has impacted your growth as a leader in like the business world?
So I know this is not a girl, and I'm supposed to be talking about a girl, but
But
I
yeah.
feel like my parents have been such a big part. Like, my dad comes from the entrepreneurial background, so knowing him and talking to him, he has given me any experience and advice that he's gotten from his experiences since he's created businesses and has learned the ins and outs of how it works. But my mom, on the other hand, even though she's not like into business and she's not like doing stuff, she helps me really build my mentality, and I really appreciate her for that. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be as strong as I am like right now. And just because like they give me the advice that they have gotten from their experiences, because as a family, when someone in the house is an entrepreneur, specifically my dad, everyone goes through it, right? Like everyone goes through the ups and downs of things. And so everyone who has learned in my house and any experiences that they've had, they've all given to me. Even my brother too. My older brother has a lot of advice and has a lot of mentoring that came to me. Um, in the business world, I haven't really had a mentor yet, but except my dad, since he's like an entrepreneur. But yeah, I just feel like family's like a big part when you're going into business. You need to have like a stable, you know, back end like support system um, to go into such like a risky field. I feel like I wouldn't be taking as much risk or wanting to take as much risk. Like I want to climb mountains. I want to do all these risky things that like have adrenaline and like go into business and do all that. But I wouldn't be able to do that without like a stable support system. Like I don't think I would have. So
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with that as well. I think support is like the number one thing that helps like young individuals really grow. And I love how you like talked about like your whole family and like they really help you like the different aspects. Like your brother and your dad is probably gonna be like really real with you and talk with you about more like
yeah,
how it's gonna go in the business world, but then your mom is like there for like your mentality and like the mental aspect of it. And I think that's like a really balanced like support system and they really help you like all around. So yeah, that's amazing to hear. Um,
yeah.
can you share like one of your like success stories, like maybe from your efforts in promoting women empowerment in business? Could be like a like something going on in a project, maybe you're involved in a passion project or involved in like
Oh,
maybe a nonprofit who is doing something to promote women
okay.
empowerment. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm a part of this nonprofit called Girls for Business, and they help empower girls or high school and middle school girls that want to pursue any careers in business. And with that, I've also created like an off-branded version of it as a school club. And as of right now, I've gotten a lot of interest. A lot of people have come up to me being like, this is such a great idea because I'm too intimidated to join DECA because there's too many guys, or something like that along the lines of that, which have led girls to come up to me and be like, I really appreciate what you're doing. Like, this is just such a great opportunity for me. And I feel like within that, I found a lot of success because it's not just about like, okay, I know a lot of people make clubs about for like college apps and stuff, which is like it's relatable, right? Like you want to do stuff for college apps, but it's grown more than that. It's been more about like how can I impact my community? What can I do differently that I can really like put in the effort towards my community? And I feel like this is something that I'm genuinely passionate about. I want to change this, and I want to create that like community where girls help each other and they do business with each other and they learn new things, right?
Yeah.
So with all that, I've been working super hard to like do events and start up that club. And it's been going super well. So hopefully it'll have a super big impact. I've also been planning on like doing events where we fundraise for maybe women entrepreneurs in different countries, maybe the lower income countries, so we can help them out too. And honestly, just even thinking about that makes me so happy because like it's something that I feel very wholehearted towards, and I love like helping out in that sense. So
Yeah, that's great to hear. I think like when you talked about passion projects and how it relates to like college apps, but also finding that genuine passion for it, that's a very important thing because I think even if you do it just for like college apps, like the admission officers can see if you're actually passionate about it just by the way you write about it. So like you have to be sure like for all like the youth or the younger people who are thinking about starting their very own passion project that it's is something that you will be dedicated and work towards, because if you don't have like what you said, the genuine passion for it, like it's not gonna really work out because you're working for something that you don't even believe in or want to do yourself. So yeah, that's great that you talked about that because I think that was something like I thought about a lot as when I was in the younger grades as well, just to find like what I actually enjoyed doing. And after I found it, I think it was really like a clarity for me because I was doing something I really loved, and like seeing the impact I was making was something like really like heartwarming for myself.
yeah, seeing the impact was the biggest thing. I feel like when the community comes back and they're like, this was amazing, like you need to keep this up. It's really heartwarming to see, right? So,
Yeah. So how do you like kind of measure the impact of the work or that you're doing right now?
so for me, I've impacted my community in, like with the numbers for the club specifically. I've gone around maybe 40 people interested in it. So, I mean, I still haven't done the first meeting, so I don't know. We'll have to see when that comes, but um, there's a lot of people that are interested and slowly are getting interested because business is such a big topic and there's a lot of subtopics and industries within it. So it's like really general and a lot of people enjoy that. It's like that. But also it takes drive and passion, which people um, sometimes don't have, but also they can try finding that through these clubs. For the Girls for Business Austin chapter, we have hosted many events. Um, we've posted a lot of things on social media. We've gained a lot of traction with social media. And through that, we post informational stuff. We post opportunities and all of this. And throughout all that, we've gained a lot of like following to that. And also through Girls for Business, we hosted this one specific event called Make a Mark Internship where you can help a small business market you can create a business or marketing proposal for this small business. And with that, we probably had like 50 people participate in the internship, and it was like a 1 week long internship. And a lot of people have said that it was such a good idea to do that, and it really helped them in their like experience, right?
Yeah, I think that's like great to hear that there's like comments or like feedback that come back because even though like numbers is very like tangible and some people like to see that, it is also great to see the numbers, of course, but actually seeing like the genuine like comments or like the words or like testimonials from other people is something that I also love reading because you can get like firsthand like insights of what you if like what you did was really good or not. So yeah.
Yeah.
And you talked about like your nonprofits and a lot of like teamwork going on. So like how important is collaboration for you in among like women in business? And if it's possible, can you like share an example of a collaborative effort that was particularly impactful for you?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
So I feel like collaboration for me is like the most important thing. Whenever I'm talking about business or talking about my club or anything in general, I'm automatically thinking about how can I make my officer team the most collaborative thing, or like the best thing to where we're all working together and working as a group rather than one person just leading. And with that, I noticed that collaboration was so important, actually through DECA. So for my DECA project, I was in a group of 3 girls. And with this, for us, it was a whole different story. We didn't start 6 months before. We weren't prepared at all. And we come into the year 2 months away from submitting our 20-page research paper, and we're rushing a lot. Um, and through that, it made me realize like if we did not offload some of the work to others when one of us was feeling down, because all 3 of us continuously got sick at the same time. And if we were not, for like weeks on end, and if we were not collaborating, we were not um, making sure that one of us can take on the workload when another can't. And in the end, if we didn't get to that point where we were all working together, we wouldn't have made it to state, and we wouldn't have gone as far as we've gone. And it's made me realize like how important it is to not only, okay, be prepared when you're doing stuff and know what you're doing, but also having that support system and having those people around you that you can like know will be able to take on the workload when you can't, or know that you can take on the workload when they can't, and just being there for each other is like such a nice thing to have.
Yeah, I think I agree with that as well. I think just having that group of people where you can really lean on just in case you're not there is something very important to have, especially in the business world since it's like ups and downs, right? It's never going to be completely like stagnant at one spot. And going through like DECA especially, DECA is like, well, I've never done DECA, but I've heard it's like kind of like a roller coaster ride. I don't know. I
Yeah.
heard it's kind of like a bit. I don't know. I met someone who was in like DECA. He's like a state officer or something, and he told me about like how much like time you actually have to dedicate to this because he
Yeah.
said like the president can't even go to like college. She has to go to like community college because she has to miss like half a year of school because of DECA. And I find like wow, if someone actually like I guess she really loves this environment then. But yeah, you have to actually like learn to integrate yourself in a different environment sometimes, especially since business is so like different from one part to another.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's amazing to hear that you were able to figure that all out and you were able to get your team going to go to state. But what advice would you give to like other young women who aspire to make their mark in the business world as well?
Um, I would just say go into anything with confidence, and not just that, but also really try your best to experience anything and everything that comes at you. Like, for example, interviews are a big thing that you need to experience. Talking in front of groups of people, doing one-on-ones like this. It's just it as long as you expose yourself to everything, when it pops up on you, during a certain time later on in the future, you'll know how to handle that situation and you'll get used to it the more you do it. And I feel like that helps you build your confidence when you're talking and when you're speaking. Because in business, communication is super duper important. Like, you need to know how to communicate really well because that's how you create connections, networks, whatever, right? So I feel like just really testing out your waters, seeing what works, what doesn't, and putting yourself out there, like getting out of your comfort zone and like doing stuff that would usually make you uncomfortable. For me personally, I've been through the journey of going from a literal introvert, like I was the most introverted person, to like somewhat being extroverted in my friend group. Like I'm now making the plans, I'm now like doing everything. And it's just super nice to see that progress. And I feel like business, like a field like this, where you have to learn skills and get out of your comfort zone, it shows you that progress the more you go down, right?
Yeah.
And that's just super nice to have. So just really get out of your comfort zone and test out new things.
Yeah, especially since like we're all young right now, like we don't know what we really want or if we don't experience it. So if you like go for whatever you have in front of you, you'll learn like what you like and what you don't like, and then it really help you like career-wise in the future. Like for me as well, I'm currently in the process of like college applications, and it's like
Yeah.
quite a stressful process, but like knowing what I want because of like my past experiences really like helps me like lead the path for what I want in college and as well as after college. So I think
Yeah.
that's also very important. But yeah, so just on a conclusion and a lasting note, like what changes would you like to see in the business world to support women, especially like young women like us?
Going into the business field, I would like to see more mentors and women mentors to help younger girls like really get used to that field, because not only is it really hard to get opportunities when you're not at that stage of confidence yet to be talking to or reaching out to other people, but it's just really nice to have like that, bond of like, oh, you're also a girl that's going through this field of a male dominant field. Like maybe we can help each other out type situation. And um it's super hard because some industries for me, when I've personally experienced trying to reach out for opportunities and stuff, majority of the people are men. And sometimes that's kind of intimidating to like go after, right? Even though that opportunity could be literally life changing. So I feel like bringing more mentors, women mentors, to help out and, help people get comfortable and start building that confidence is super important to add into the business field. And even like creating support groups and all of that, right?
Yeah, I think so too, because I kind of want to see more like open environments and like inclusivity and people who are just open to learning more about this, learning more about business, and people who are able to support us through that. And I think that is something lacking in like many communities, and it's not really talked about as well. So hopefully like eventually more people will know about this and will hopefully see that it is like a problem that should be more like supported and more fixed, so that people who are interested in business and who are women really get that support that they need to like go down the path and like go through personal growth as well.
Yes.
So yeah, so what's next for you in your mission to empower women in business?
For me, it's to really build the club that I'm already building. I really want to make an impact in my local community and start doing events that even grow not just for my school, but to other schools in my district, and really building that community of like, oh, we can provide opportunities, we can do all of this, and we can help you build that confidence from high school and not have to learn any of that in college. So you can start networking and doing stuff in college with the confidence you built during high school. And with all of that, yes, I'm doing that too, but I'm also trying to start up my own thing. And all these experiences that have led up to what I'm trying to start up right now are going to help me in the future for sure. I feel like it's so important that I went through the journey that I did to get to where I am now, because I have a way longer journey in the future, right?
Yeah.
So,
I think that's great to hear that you have so many plans ahead and you really know what you want to do. So yeah, that was great to talk to you today and hear all of your insights, tips, and also experiences as well. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast to share this. Do you have any lasting words that you would like to share to the listeners?
um, just stay confident, be fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like, have passion and be fun with it. Like, do whatever you want, but be fun with it.
Yeah, I definitely think fun is also an important factor. Like you can like do something very serious like deck up, but like with your team you can also like have fun, do like team building activities. I think that's also an important aspect of business, just to have fun with everything. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Hasini. I had a great time talking with you today.
Thank you.